I'm inspired by ophthalmology for many different reasons, and one of the main reasons is working at Allergan, because we've been in the ophthalmology business for 70 years, and being in ophthalmology innovation for 70 years means that you have to constantly be on the cutting edge of innovation and really reinventing yourself, because markets move, unmet needs keep on occurring, and you have to keep meeting those unmet needs. And the fact I'm surrounded by people, both in the ophthalmology community, in the physician world, as well as inside Allergan from the sort of scientific world, we have this sort of constant touch point, and the community is so tight that we allow ourselves to sort of be closer to innovation, which obviously is frankly very exciting, because when you're bringing innovations that meet unmet needs, you're really doing something for patients in a significantly different way. So I feel like Allergan, we've just had that heritage and DNA for 70 years, and we just continue to do that every single year. So the excitement's pretty profound, frankly, because of the history and the legacy we have, but also the future's very bright because there is significant unmet needs in ophthalmology, and you're talking about an area which affects patients across generations, from very young ages to obviously all the way to late stage of life. And when you have conditions that affect virtually all elements of the population, there's always going to be unmet needs. That's pretty stimulating to be part of. Ophthalmology is a very special community because of the connection between, as I said before, about how it works with the physician, the patient, and the industry in terms of staying very closely connected. Because of that, you're always spurring innovation, ideas for innovation that can improve care for patients. And it's very special. I think it's very unique to ophthalmology that we have that. OIS is a great example of that community and network. And so by definition, because of that regular close contact, honestly on a daily basis, if not weekly basis, you're really always finding opportunities for innovation on a very frequent basis. That therefore always becomes the source of the inspiration and excitement of thinking about what we can do in a means to actually improve patient care and outcomes. So it's not hard to find innovation because of the way ophthalmology works, and also because of the way that Allergan works. We pride ourselves on being connected to the community in a way which allows us to basically try and move faster, and also get to the market faster, and also improve on our products that are actually on the market as well. So I think it's by virtue of the function of the network that allows us to bring that innovation in on an ongoing basis. We don't have to go looking for innovation. It happens around us because we stay close to the community. And some specific examples where we bring that innovation together on different franchises. So we have the leading branded franchise in glaucoma treatments today. We have the leading branded franchise in dry eye treatments today. We have the leading branded treatments in the steroid treatment of retinal diseases today. But that also leaves us to think, so how do we improve on that moving forward? And in each of these different franchises, we have significant products in development. And many of the unmet needs I was referencing, for example, in the treatment of retinal diseases in wet AMD, there's a significant demand from patients and physicians to increase the interval between injections to allow patients to receive their care, maintain their vision, but on a less frequent basis in terms of injections. Our products in late-stage development are looking to meet that exact need of a longer duration, potentially on a 3-month basis. And we're actually presenting some data at Academy that's referring to that particular program. As it relates to glaucoma, there's obviously a significant usage of drops in the marketplace, both primary or adjunctive therapies. We've been obviously the supplier of many of those successful treatments over time, but there's still a significant unmet need of how patients can comply with the drugs and remain on the treatments on an ongoing basis, especially if they're taking 1 or 2 bottles every single day. We're introducing, we've actually, should I say, run studies on an intracameral implant for a sustained release, which has the potential to be the first sustained release treatment for the treatment of glaucoma. And whilst that will hopefully address the dropless element, we're also very excited about the data we released earlier this year, which talks about the sustained benefit of something like that, which could potentially leave patients dropless and treatment-free for a significant period of time. So we're looking forward to sharing all of that data in the new year for both phase 3 studies. But they're the types of innovations I'm talking about which allow us to be focused on the unmet needs. And because we spend a lot of time talking to the community, we understand what those needs are, but then importantly bring innovations to meet those needs. I think consumers or patients generally should be very excited about where the opportunity lies for innovation in ophthalmology and also what's actually on the horizon. And specifically from an Allergan perspective, we have significant advances coming forward. I've talked a little bit around what we have coming for the treatment of wet AMD and also for the treatment of glaucoma in terms of offering sustained benefit over longer periods of time. We also have a project in development for the treatment of geographic atrophy. Currently, there are no treatments at all for the treatment approved for the treatments of geographic atrophy. And again, at Academy, we're presenting some late-breaking data on our phase 2 studies for that particular program, which has the potential to be the first treatment for geographic atrophy. That is a significant breakthrough for patients generally. We also have an area which up until this point has no treatment for presbyopia in a non-device or non-surgical way. And so we have a treatment in development that's a drop actually for presbyopia, which, as you know, could affect tens of millions of people. It does affect tens of millions of people over a certain age, and to offer a potential drop treatment which provides immediate benefit over a period of time during the day, that has a real ability to change the situation for many, many patients who rely on spectacles or potentially surgical alternatives. I think when you put all those things together, whether it's in retinal disease, AMD, geographic atrophy, extended benefit in glaucoma, or in presbyopia, when I talk to people, my neighbors or other sort of colleagues or friends, they get very excited about all those opportunities, and that's why it's not a very hard conversation to actually have on an ongoing daily basis. The best advice I've received, both professionally and personally, especially as I think it works in many dimensions, is you have one mouth and two ears, and use them in that ratio is usually a good thing. And that's why I feel like by listening acutely and intently to whoever it may be, you learn more, and the insights are greater. And I think that has served me incredibly well, and I've learned from many people who've done that incredibly well. I think, especially in a business like ours, where being close to the community, if we're listening intently, we can always move faster and also execute faster. So that's been a very useful piece of advice, and it's hard to do every single day, but my sort of observations being when we do it well, we actually move very, very quickly, and frankly makes a big difference in our business life as well as obviously our personal life in many ways. We obviously enjoy being part of OIS for many different reasons, and it keeps coming back to this triumvirate of opinion leaders, industry, and investors. And I think the spur of innovation in ophthalmology is a function of those three factors. The fact that OIS brings that together in a very concerted and focused way multiple times during the year only continues to sort of spur the conversations, the network, and more importantly, obviously opportunities to advance care for patients. And so OIS has been extremely successful over a decade now to do that and initiate that. And I think we're seeing the fruits of that if you just look at the number of startups and also the number of products that have come to market and the increasing pace of that. I think OIS has a lot to do with that, and I think is a function of the very good proximity of those three elements of the system.